Well, they said it couldn't be done, but there you go. 3 Blackmagic design devices attached to the same laptop, running at the same time. Hi, I'm Matthew from VideoScene. Today I'm just going to go through some of the things I've found in regards to putting multiple devices on the same computer, and just go through some of the pitfalls or some of the issues that I've found in regards to it. So, can it be done? There you go. Three different input devices, all going through the same computer with 3 different videos at the same time. Just to let you know that they're not still shots. Hi, hi, hi. There you go. So 3 live video feeds at the same time. The first feed I've got is the Panasonic 4K camera plugged into one of the Ultrastudio HD Minis. The second shot, a Sony CX110 plugged into another of the Ultrastudio HD Minis. And I've got a wide angle shot here, which is a GoPro Hero 5 plugged into the Intensity Shuttle. In the interest of full disclosure, none of the equipment has been provided by any of the manufacturers, and no money is being paid to me for doing this video. So why would I want to plug 3 devices into the same computer, you would ask, when there are other ways of doing it? Well, in the interest of portability for one. All of this equipment that's plugged into this computer, the Intensity Shuttle, the Ultrastudio HD Mini, and the second Ultrastudio HD Mini, are all bus powered. So the Intensity Shuttle is plugged into USB 3, and the 2 Ultrastudios are plugged into Thunderbolt 3. The laptop that they're being plugged into is an HP ZBook. In the interest of disclosure, HP are not supporting this video. Why would I want a high-end HP compared to an Apple? My own personal preference, I am used to the Windows operating environment and prefer that to the Apple operating environment. But other people like different things. This is not a reflection of Apple's equipment. This is just a personal preference. So there we go. We've got 3 devices. They're all plugged into the same laptop, all running at the same time. It's easy as. You'd think so, wouldn't you? Now, Blackmagic Design do not support this concept. I've talked to them about it, and their feedback is that the 3 devices plugged into the same computer aren't supported. Now, there are issues in regards to this, and I've come across a few pitfalls. One of the issues is that the drivers for the devices tend to conflict, and on occasion you could be partway through a video and then all of a sudden one of the devices just disappears. Now, it hasn't happened to me for a while, and that could be an update that Blackmagic have done, but even sometimes plugging in a USB device will tend to bring up a update the driver box or update the driver window, and when you do update that driver, the rest of the equipment stops functioning for some reason. I've found the easiest way to combat that is to not update the drivers, and if it does update the drivers automatically or you click it inadvertently, make sure you've got a copy of a previous version of the desktop video, so you can just reinstall that, restart, and then Bob's your auntie. There you go, you've got all of your devices back up and showing. It doesn't seem to matter which order you plug these in. If you plug the Intensity Shuttle in first and then the Ultrastudio in next, or vice versa, it doesn't make a difference in terms of the output and whether or not there's a conflict with the devices. They all function at the same time, and for sports it's fantastic because they're all bus powered, which means that they're all portable. Because we're using consumer video cameras, the consumer video cameras have to be changed from the HDMI Mini and the HDMI Micro into SDI for the Ultrastudio HD Minis. Now, this is a bit of a drawback that the Ultrastudio HD Minis don't have HDMI input, but you know, again, it's not too much to get a decimator MDLX, which will convert that video from HDMI to SDI and go from the SDI input on the Ultrastudio HD Minis. Now, one of the reasons why I've used the Ultrastudios compared to any of the other devices that Blackmagic Design do, it's got a higher acceptable frame rate. So Ultrastudio HDs will allow you to put in 1080 at up to 60 frames a second on progressive. Now, the reason for that is because the consumer video cameras, although you can change it from 1080p to 1080i, you can't down the frame rate on some of the consumer cameras to a level that the Intensity Shuttle, for example, will accept. So plugging them into the Ultrastudio HD Mini allows the consumer video cameras to run at a higher frame rate on progressive. And now, if you're taking standard video camera, not a problem, but if you're doing sports and you want that higher frame rate, then realistically your input device should be the Ultrastudio HD Minis. Now, the cameras, as I said to you, that I've plugged in, I've got a Panasonic 4K, I've got the Sony 1080, and I've got the Hero 5. And the reason the Hero 5 is plugged into the Intensity Shuttle is the Hero 5 has got quite good changes for frame rates, so you can change it down from the 4K settings down to 1080p 25, and that's essential when you're plugging it into the Intensity Shuttle, because the Intensity Shuttle will take a maximum input at 1080 of 30 frames a second. Looking at getting input devices for your computer and you're thinking about doing any kind of video recording, it's going to be really handy for you to look at the frame rates of those devices and look at whether the cameras that you're using can be changed to the frame rate that your input device will allow. I wish you the best of luck with it. This has been Matthew from VideoScene. If you've like what you see and you want to see more, like, subscribe, and we'll see you online.